will hold extremely tight tolerances. Like the one that blows me away is a 1/4-inch hole and a 1/2-inch plate will fit a 1/4-inch bolt nicely.
Today we're here in Interlochen, Michigan at Offroad Anonymous. Let's see what Michigan makes.
Hey guys, Jacob here with Offroad Anonymous. I'm the owner and founder here. Started it back in 2013 out of our house garage like your average guy, and the joke was I was too cheap to buy tabs, so we started buying the equipment to build our own, and here we are over 10 years later manufacturing everything from off-road fabrication builder parts to garage organization tools to different tools that we've made and turned into products over the years. So yeah, I'm basically going to go through and do a shop tour today and show you guys a little bit of what we do, along with we'd like to go through and do a kind of how it's made, show you something from the computer CAD side of it all the way to going on the shelf to what you as a customer would receive in the mail. Everything that we produce ends up in the computer in some shape or form, whether it's a simple tab or something more complicated like our 05 to 10 Super Duty steering kits, which is what we have pulled up here. This one we've got a ton of time into. It's not just thrown together of throw a tie rod here or there. We actually, I think, have more time into the actual geometry of these kits than actually the rest of the components to the kit. And by that I mean it's engineered for proper steering geometry and acronym for your common hydro or hydro assist rams and steering boxes, to where this kit specifically on a 8-inch ram, full lock to full lock, will do a full true 40 degrees of steering while maintaining proper acronym. And by acronym, that is your tires maintaining each other versus one steering 35 degrees and the other steering 42. The tech nerdy side of it is literally a 1/16 of an inch hole placement will make a 2 to 3 degree difference depending on location and relevance to the knuckle and ball joint. And then the other problem that's super common on the 05 and up stuff is the diffs on them are huge. So everyone runs into the issue of the tie rod crashing into the differential cover. So that was one thing we factored into the kit also, is it actually has roughly an inch of raise into the kit to clear most diff covers by raising it above the center radius of the cover, buying more room along with more protection, and all of it's designed in all the way down to the nut and bolt being here for reference of knowing what's the proper size, length, everything to work with the kit. Honestly, it's huge overkill. We use a 1-inch grade 8 bolt that integrates into the factory hole, along with everything else gets welded into the knuckle. So as far as we know, we have yet to have anybody actually break one of these. Everything also is keyed, so it's very, very easy to assemble. One cool thing to me with this is this kit will literally hold itself together based off just the keys alone. So it takes a lot of the risk out on the welding side for warping, because once you lock that bolt down and key everything in these slots that you see, it literally holds itself together. So the nice part is you can go in, plug weld all your keys, and then go in and weld everything. And then that's also the nice thing with these 05 and up, along with the 99 to 04 knuckles. They're a forged knuckle, not a cast knuckle, which is what also allows for being able to weld them. Even in our testing, we intentionally did it wrong. And by wrong, I mean you're supposed to preheat, you're supposed to post-heat so that it doesn't crack. Out of experimenting, we literally went in, no post-heat, no preheat, no nothing, just went to town welding it and have ran them on our own things with zero issues. They are very forgiving, in the whole welding cast scenario is, the most common question. So then the other side of it that we try to make it super easy on the customer is it does come with a full kit contents PDF print that shows you all the components you got in your kit, along with an exploded diagram to how it goes together. So it's very easy on the consumer end of it. Ton of work on our end, but our goal is to make it as easy as possible on the end user. So one step further we've even gone is including QR code on your PDF that links the left and the right separately to an exploded view diagram video, to where 10 seconds and it shows you where everything goes versus playing the guessing game of what does what where. We basically imported our flat files from the CAD models we were showing you earlier and pulled them into our cutting software, and now assigned the different tooling and cut layers for the part itself along with a part number. Every part gets assigned a part number, so that's why this is in a different color here. Is, to me, that says the pink is an engrave tooling to where the green is a cut tooling. We out of the gate knew we wanted to go with a fiber laser. It seems to be the newest, latest, greatest technology, but on the other side of it, it's been out long enough that we're not experimenting along those lines. It was very much plug and play. We, short of, a couple weeks of install time, but for us it was a huge step from plasma. That's what we started in, was plasma cutting every part, to where this is night and day, leaps and bounds from where we were. We thought we were doing really good parts until we started running this machine, and it was very much an eye-opener of quality along with efficiency. So the quality side, this will hold extremely tight tolerances. Like the one that blows me away is a 1/4 inch hole in a 1/2 inch plate will fit a 1/4 inch bolt nicely. No slop or no cleanup, just straight off of it. Fits snug, fits good, and in an off-road application, that's everything on a link bracket. You don't want a loose hole. You need a nice, clean, tight hole, and that's where this machine allowed it. And then the other side was efficiency. Like, most people think, cool, you bought an expensive machine, it means the cost of our product is going up, and that actually very much has not been the case. We now, at minimum, can crank out twice as many parts in the same amount of time. So yes, it's a more expensive machine, but on the labor standpoint, we are able to make a product considerably faster, dropping labor cost. And generally, the labor cost is the most expensive thing, not the piece of 1/4 inch plate. It's the actual making said part. And so that allowed us to make it faster, make it cleaner, make it less cleanup, all around making a better part while maintaining cost, or even some items we've been able to lower the price due to efficiency.
It's amazing how clean the fiber laser cuts these parts at the edges, as you can see in this part of the video.
So now that we've sanded the parts, now everything's a nice, consistent, grained look in a sense, but more so it's for the fit and finish than it is the appearance, but who doesn't mind the nice appearance? So basically the next step, now that we've taken everything oil off of the material, is basically putting it back on. We do that for a couple different reasons. Big reason, honestly, is we're in Michigan, which leads to humidity and rust and all of that. So part of it is buying us shelf life to not get surface rust, along with, we use WD-40, which is actually very weld friendly. It works great as an anti-spatter. So not only does it buy us shelf life, it also helps cut down on all the stupid, annoying little BBs that accumulate while you're welding out your parts. So bonus tech tip, the other side of it actually is we're looking at adding a couple vibratory tumblers to somewhat take the hand-ons process out of it, along with giving an even better finish instead of going straight from laser to consumer. Yes, it's a few extra steps, but a few extra steps we feel necessary for a quality product. So last step of the process, in the shop at least, after oiling the part, is if anything gets press broke, we make our way to the press brake. So in this case, with the 05 to 10 Super Duty steering kit, upper plate needs to be bent, like shown in the drawing on the computer with the raised profile. That requires us to put a slight bend in this plate. Yeah, so in the past, when it came to bending parts, we did a lot of hard copy paper, and we've gotten into the 21st century now, and we're actually transferring everything over to tablet, which has allowed us to cut down on errors because it's real time versus piece of paper. We don't know if changes have been made to that since or not. And so the nice part with the tablet is not only does it give us all of our bend data needed to make said part, it even has the 3D model that you guys saw earlier on in the video of what said part should look like, so you're not bending it backwards or upside down, or honestly it just takes the guesswork out, because the last thing you want to do here is make a mistake, because A, the part's bad, best case scenario. Worst case scenario, very easy machine to hurt yourself on. So to be completely honest, we would normally use what's considered a roll of E-die. Very awesome piece of tooling. It actually leaves 0 marks and very little to 0 deformation in the part. But for today, we're not going to use that because we are doing a 1-part run versus our normal production run. So we're just going to use the standard old school V-die to form our part. So we've got our backstop and bend values set it. Turn the pump on and hit run. So there, we have a bent part. And just for quality control purposes, we'll check the angle. According to that, perfect. Next step would be kit packing. So instead, we're actually going to open a box versus showing you the kit packing process to show what you would actually receive when you place an order for one of the steering kits that you've been following along with. You get to deal with fun packing peanuts along with all of the subcomponents all wrapped. So now that we get everything unpacked, we've got everything laid out. And so basically in your steering kit example that we've been running through all day, you would get all your components for the left and right knuckles, along with a full print with an exploded view, an assembled view, along with full kit contents. And the other nice part allowed with the new laser is every single component has a part number. Part number should match your drawing to where there's no guesswork of which one's the driver's side, which one's the passenger side. Along with packet even breaks down exactly what is what and what to do where. So the goal always is make it as simple for the end user to where you don't have to be a professional fabricator to do this kit. And one thing we didn't go over out in the shop is even the sleeve kit. So the nice thing with the sleeve kit is actually it is laser cut on the same machine, which allows us to put a part number. So even the left and right tubes are different, but they have a part number that matches your diagram. This is what you would be getting in the mail if you ordered one of our 05 to 10 crossover steering kits. So as we mentioned earlier on the CAD side of things of the tab and slot design to make it easy for the end user, here you can see everything is just loosely fit together based off of the tab and slots. And the cool part with that is everything's already aligned for the most part in the correct position that it goes. And this isn't even welded yet. This is just fit, and this isn't even on the knuckle. The nice thing with the knuckle, it holds even more stuff because all of this aligns with the knuckle to help hold it and making it very easy to weld out. And, you know, just a show of how easy that it's not, you know, we're not showing you camera magic. It's all just literally slid together, you know, that simple. So, and the other part too is all the slots are structural. So the last step of the process that we've shown you is it's now on you. You installing the actual kit onto the knuckle. I highly recommend having the knuckle sandblasted. Most places will do it actually very cheaply, and it saves you a ton of cleanup, along with it makes it way easier to weld because you have a nice clean part. And then like we mentioned earlier in the video, these are a forged knuckle, not a cast knuckle. So the nice part is they're actually pretty easy to weld out. That's most people's biggest fear with this kit is proper welding procedure. Yes, going through and TIG welding them with the proper filler rod and all that is amazing, but in my opinion, very unnecessary. This kit, honestly, I didn't post heat, I didn't preheat. I just went for it welding and it came out great. And I have no worry of structural failure from all the steps that you saw earlier on between the giant 1-inch bolt tying it into the factory knuckle, all the tabs and slots holding everything together. Very stout kit. So we don't actually do customer builds, but obviously we need to build things to R&D, new products, and we're always looking to expand products. To where this is a good example. This actually is a customer build, even though we don't take on customer builds. To where this is an early Bronco frame and we wanted to do a coilover setup. There's seemed to be a market for your basic bolt-on or full hardcore fab and nothing in between. We've designed a rear shock tower setup, a sway bar mount that utilizes an off-the-shelf curry bar, utilizes our, I want to say these are a 20-degree universal upper link bracket, a full basic subframe setup that just slides up on and welds into place. And then the front is very similar, shock towers, air bumps, of no sway bar. All of this actually really soon, most likely by the time this video is out, will be on the website as a full individual along with full kit form, to where if you wanted to buy just the rear towers, we'll have that available. We actually already have them in production, along with the sway bar mounts, the subframe mounts, the front towers. And on that note too, we've actually done the same thing for TJs and YJs, to where we'll be offering a very similar package for the early Bronco, Jeep YJ, and Jeep TJs. So then the other side of the product line is really where we started in the early days, is more your basic fab tab type stuff, you know, whether it's your basic shock tab or seat tab or link tab. We carry a large line of it. We're roughly at the moment 150 SKUs, give or take. And this year, 2024, we're actually looking to grow that quite a bit. Or like you've seen on our start to finish on the steering kits, everything's made in-house. We do very, very little outsourcing. And to us, that's really cool that everything is made here in Michigan, sourced from local suppliers for the most part on materials. And due to all that, it makes for very awesome lead times, quality control, the whole nine. The general rule of thumb around here is if it's on the site, it's on the shelf. And the really cool part that most customers don't know is even if we're out of stock, pretty good chance that it's in the works of being made. In worst case, it ships in 3 days instead of the same day. Yes, the site does not say same day shipping. Honestly, generally rule of thumb around here is if it's in before our pickup for the day is, it's pretty good chance it's going out that day. If not, it's going to most likely go out tomorrow. The only exception of in-house is powder coat. We outsource that to a local company also that does an awesome job and takes care of us and does a very quality job for us on the powder coat side of things. But it's a small look into everything we do here at Offroad Anonymous.